Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and today I've got a simple card for you that's quick to put together and just shows off these beautiful papers. You can find them in the, oh excuse me, sorry, things falling everywhere, I need a bigger desk. You can find them on page 35 in the May to August catalogue. And they are part of the Moonlit Flora suite. So in the suite you get the 12 by 12 papers, you get the embossing folder, you get the stamp set, and you get the dies. Oh, and these dewdrops embellishments, hopefully you can see those there. Now, I am like pretty much everybody else on the planet, and I am on a quite restricted budget, so I can't always afford to buy everything that I love in the catalogue, and in this instance I already had wild ferns and the dies that go with them, so I couldn't justify the expense of purchasing another stamp set. There are some beautiful images in this stamp set and there are some really great dies in it, but they are very similar to the wild ferns. Obviously this is retired, so if you don't have a fern stamp set, then I can strongly recommend this one. The dies are a little bit different from the wild ferns, and there are some extra elements in the dies from the Fern and Flora bundle, but as I said, I have to pick my battles with what I can afford to buy. So what I did do, I did buy the papers because they're gorgeous, and I did buy the embossing folder, and I just want to show you this embossing folder. It is huge. It's 6 by 6, I think. Let me just check that. Yep, 6 by 6 square. So you get a whole 6 by 6 of pattern as well. Some embossing folders sometimes where the hinge is here at the top and where there's this little strip here at the bottom don't give you a full 6 by 6, even though the folder's 6 by 6, but this does. So the folder is slightly bigger than 6 by 6, not by much, but enough so that you do actually get a full page of coverage, and it is gorgeous. It's one of our 3D embossing folders. So it's a really great one for using the inking up the folder technique, or embossing and then inking over the deboss side to give sort of a background colour. It's a really, really lovely embossing folder. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way in a second and I'll show you the papers. So the colours, for those of you that like to know the colours, are Golden Glow, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Peaceful Pine, Secret Sea and Berry Burst. So Peaceful Pine and Golden Glow are two of the new in colours. I think they're almost my favourites. I really thought that Hydrangea Hue was going to be my favourite, and I thought I was going to be a bit on the fence about Golden Glow, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot more orangey than in real life than it looks in the catalogue. Right, so let's just move that out of the way and I will bring the papers in and show you. I have used quite a lot of this already, so I will run through and try not to double up, hopefully, on the papers. So 12 by 12s, double-sided. So there's this one which has got these gorgeous moths on, and the back of that is, oh sorry, I haven't turned them around. The back of that is this sort of stylized leaf, which is quite Art Deco. What else have we got? Then you've got this leaf all over, which is really pretty, and on the back of that, hopefully you can see, you've got this Golden Glow with little white sort of 4-dot formation. I obviously haven't been through these. I normally go through these and change it one way and one the other. Then there's this one, which has got the flowers in the Golden Glow, a little bit of Berry Burst in there, and the greens and some white, and on the back of that is a Berry Burst sort of plaid, I suppose you'd call it. I don't really know, sort of a diagonal pattern. Oh, come on, I don't want to show themselves, they're sticking together. Then you've got this one which has got the small leaves and small flowers all over, so this is a really good one for backgrounds because it's quite small, and on the back of that you've got this green leafy pattern, and then there's this one which has got ferns and flowers all over, and that's got the grey granite sort of plaid pattern on the back, and then I think that is it. I have used quite a lot of them already. They are really lovely. I'll be tempted to buy another pack of those actually when I next order, because they're gorgeous, and I can think of so many different ways that we can use them. So back to the card we're going to make today. So a really simple one. I've used pecan pie for the base, some of the Golden Glow, and these papers just sell themselves really. They're just gorgeous, and I wanted to pick up on the Golden Glow flowers. I've cut my sentiment rectangle from Golden Glow, so let's pop that to one side and I'll show you how I made it. Oh, and point out something that I just missed on there. Okay, so we're going to layer up this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my cardstock. So this is that. Oh, this has got the green sort of leafies on the back. They're just really lovely papers. I know they have been really popular, and I know that there are some of our papers that are sold out, but as far as I'm aware, Stampin' Up! Are trying to get them back into stock. If there's one you want and it's sold out, if you contact me, I can tell you roughly when I think it's going to be back in stock, because we, as demonstrators, have access to the inventory report. Okay, so we've put our pattern paper onto our Golden Glow matte layer. The matte layer for the Golden Glow cardstock is 13.8 by 14. By 10. No, 14.3 by 10. And then the DSP is cut at 9.5 by 13.8. And that just gives us that border all the way around. Why is it's really difficult when you're filming not to get my head in the way. Okay, so that's that. So that's the front of our card. I mean, it doesn't really need anything else, does it? It's just gorgeous. But we are going to pop a sentiment on it. So you can obviously use any sentiment you want. And I went with a thank you on my other card, which does come from the wild ferns. But I am going to change it up a bit this time, because I want a happy birthday. So I've pulled out my Charming Day stamp set, which is also retired, and that will it fit just, I think. Right, let's give it a go. Okay, so let's just mount this up onto a block, and we are going to stamp in Golden Glow. No, we're not. We're going to stamp in Peaceful Pine. Okay, so these are our new stamps, new ink pads, I should say, that have a removable but magnetic top. Okay, have we got that all on there? Yep, just going to bring in a stamp mat. As I've said many times before, we now only sell photopolymer. So you do really need a bit of give under it. This is, oh goodness, I knew I was going to do that. This is a red rubber stamp because it's a retired one. But from here on in, Stampin' Up! Will not be selling red rubber. Personally, I think it's a bit of a shame. I'm sure it's down to manufacturing costs, which seem to be going up and up and up and up. Right, okay. So I'm just going to put this away. I know it makes my videos a little bit longer. You're watching me a few seconds longer. You're watching me clean and put away a stamp, but it means that I know where they are. Okay, and then from the retired Fern set, one of the dies does these corners. There are two different corners. Obviously, you can't get these, but what you could do if you have purchased the new stamp set is get the same effect by using some of the Fern die cuts and just popping them behind your label. But for me, I had this set, as I said before, I can't justify buying everything in the catalogue. So whenever I see something I like, I always go through my stash to see, have I got anything that's familiar, very similar, and that, you know, I have to think about my budget, and it means that my retired stuff gets used, and it also means that I'm not doubling up on things. Okay, the rest of this card is flat, so we are going to use some dimensionals. Apologies if you can hear the dog barking. So I'm using up the edges on my dimensionals. We like to use, that was just the top come off there. Oh, goodness me. I'm having one of those days. We like to use up everything. Okay, so let's just push those out of the way for your view. Okay, and we are going to go, I went to the left-hand corner on the last card because obviously we don't want these bits sticking over the edge. Now, there is another die that cuts a bottom one, but we've used this one today. I don't want to cover up those gorgeous flowers. So on this one, I'm going to put that in the middle, but making sure it doesn't stick over the edge. And you can see on this one, I didn't want to cover up the gorgeous flowers, so I went to the top. So, you know, put your sentiments where it works for you on your flowers. And then I am on a mission to use up my retired gems. Got them out now. I don't know what I've done with them. What have I done with them? I had a packet of gems here a minute ago. Oh my word. Does anybody else feel like their desk swallows their belongings sometimes? I absolutely had a packet of gems here. Where have they gone? Okay. I have no idea where they've gone. They've obviously stuck themselves to something, and I'm not entirely sure what, so I'm going to have a dig. So pardon me while I just have a dig through my gem stash. I think these will do quite nicely. These are the antique pearls. I think they'll look quite nice. I'm just going to pop. They come in different sizes. Again, I'm not sure whether these are current or retired. I'm on a bit of a mission to use up my gem stash. I love them. I buy them fairly frequently. Don't always use them. So I'm on a bit of a mission. There we go. So there's 3 on there. That's covered up that little smudge that I made with the edge of the stamp by pressing too hard. And let's just pop these away before I lose those as well. Okay, so hopefully you like the card. And I will put a matte layer inside of 14.3 by 10 to write on and possibly stamp another sentiment inside. But for now, those are our 2. So we've got a thank you and we've got a happy birthday. Okay, hopefully you'll give that a go and have a look at these gorgeous papers, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching and happy stamping. Bye for now.